going on, STOS fam? Dwayne Joseph here, owner of STOS Brand Apparel. You're about to get into episode number 3 in our conversation with NPC bodybuilder Charles Christian. But before you do, please do your boys a favor. Like and subscribe to the channel and go check out our other social media pages at STOS Brand Apparel, IG, Facebook, TikTok. Alright, and lastly, go to the website and cop some STOS gear, www.stos-brand-apparel.com. You wear the rest, now it's time to wear the best. Much love, hope you enjoy the episode. Peace.
Yeah, STOS Brand Apparel, brand new line. No time for excuses, put your head down and grind. Some stay stagnant, stuck in place. A lot of people run their mouth, some talk, others show. Yo, no exaggeration, it's the truth. What's the mission? Daily affirmations for the youth, and show them who they truly are. They can't go wrong when they stay smart, talented, outgoing, strong. So how do you defeat the odds?
Welcome back, everyone, to the STOS Brand Apparel podcast. Myself, Dwayne Joseph.
I'm Keith Isla.
We are here ready for episode number 3. We are talking, it's no talk, just show the mindset behind the muscle. Today we're going to dive into what it takes to build both body and mindset. And we've got a special guest that truly embodies the STOS philosophy. So I'm going to grab the paper because I don't remember all the stats. So he is an IAFS certified functional trainer, certified by none other than 8-time Mr. Olympia Haney. He's a 3-time open middleweight champion. He's a 2-time top 5 finisher in the Masters class at the North American Championship. And he's been grinding on the competitive stage with the National Physique Committee since 2018. So he lives the lifestyle. He walks the talk. Today, he's here to drop gems on what it is to train, to compete, and conquer. So everyone, let us welcome Mr. Charles Christian to the show. Welcome.
I like that.
Hey.
It sounds like really, I really did something.
Hey, you did. That's why you're here. So
That's awesome.
But we want to go ahead and get right into it. The first question that we have for you is, let's start with your journey. Like, what got you into bodybuilding and what keeps you going?
Wow. Well, my journey starts off as a young child, believe it or not, with my dad. I came up with West Indian background, and when they came to New York, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands.
Okay, my family's from Trinidad. Okay.
Oh, there you go. See that? Yeah, you're Trini.
Yeah.
I love that roadie.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Ooh.
That's my favorite.
So one of the biggest things that were in that era, that time, the 60s, the 70s, was a TV show by this guy named Jack LaLanne.
I remember Jack LaLanne.
You remember in the onesie?
Yeah.
I grew up watching Jack LaLanne.
Okay.
And then I would see my dad, because we had a little 2-bedroom apartment in Queens, and I remember watching him work out in the 2-bedroom apartment. Like, I remember him benching. He would set up 2 chairs from the kitchen table and then get the ironing board. They wasn't like the ironing boards now.
Right.
They was like real boards. He would set the ironing board up and he would bench. And I grew up, I must have been like 3 or 4 years old watching him do this. Like, I remember watching this. And he had a whole lot of different home workout gear that would be, he had that thing you would bend. Remember that thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then you remember,
used to pinch you.
he had those.
Yep.
Remember the thing that you could pull, and if you too close, it would grab your chest.
Yep.
He had that. Yeah, he had a lot of those things. So I grew up around all that. And he would order I guess he got them from the back of the magazines or whatever, and that was his thing. So that's what got me in. And I ain't stopped since. Like, I got a home workout thing. It's way beyond what he had. I just took mine to another level,
Okay.
But that's where it started for sure, And it ain't stopped. It ain't stopped.
So what's the drive that keeps you going?
Well, initially it was, to look cute for girls, you know. In your teens, your 20s, you want to look good for girls.
Anyone who says they don't work out of vanity is lying.
You at least start there,
Right.
So, I started there, but after a while, that got old, and I really started figuring out I liked being in the gym. Right. And back then, we talking the 90s now, I'm not even bodybuilding. I'm just doing stuff like circuit training in what would be either LA Fitness or Bally's. They used to have these things called circuits, and they have all these machines set up where you did legs, you'd have a bunch of leg stuff, a bunch of back stuff, a bunch of ab stuff, and you ran the circuit. And by the time you were done with the circuit, you did, I want to say, a full body workout. That's kind of what it was back in the 90s. My wife and I, we had dates where that was it. We went to the gym and we worked out and then had a movie. Right. That's kind of like how we got down back in the 90s. So what kept me going, or I want to say when I got injured back in 2017, collapsed my L4. Sciatic nerve was pinched off. I was like, man, and I had been working out quite some time. A long time, since the 90s. And I eventually started chasing the numbers and doing the ego lifting, and I paid for it. God had to sit me down, and I had to eat some crow. And it sucked. Right. I'm not gonna lie, it sucked. Right. When I came back from that, I said, I would really like to do just one bodybuilding show, because my pops was into it and he never competed. I said, you know what? I want to do just one show, just see how I do, see if I like it. Right. We did Lee Haney in 2018, and I had a national judge that was there tell me, you have a good physique. And I did just nothing but novice. So these are people that have competed for the first time. I had never competed. I didn't know what I was doing. And the pictures are up there. I look terrible. I look terrible. Matter of fact, that headshot you got of me for the that's 2018. That's probably the best picture that I got that I look like. All the ones on NPC News Online, I look terrible. It's funny. Right. It's funny to look at. But when I heard the judge, who was at the national level, tell me, you have a good physique, you need to keep going. Right. I was like, what? And he said, don't chew gum on stage. I was like, I was chewing gum? He's like, yeah. And I said, oh my God. And then I didn't even realize it, because when I was practicing for the show and I go in, I try my posing routines, I would chew gum. And it became second nature. I said, oh my God. He's like, yeah, you were up there popping gum. I said, oh my God. Needless to say, like, all those judges know me. They all know me now, because I've been competing for like 6 years. They all been judging me, and they expect a certain look now. I've gotten to that level. And once I had gotten that type of recognition, and I really wasn't trying to get the recognition, I was really just trying to see, well, where does the journey go? Right. Where does it go after this? I did this show. Well, how far can I go? Right. What happens because when I trained for that first show, I couldn't lift weights.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I couldn't lift weights. I was injured. I was still injured.
Okay.
Every photo has me with a right leg kicked out because I can't stand on my right side.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
It's kind of funny. So.
Okay. Wow. Well, I tell you what. So the next question is, we want to take it, come into the STOS philosophy. Some talk, others show. Like, what does that mean to you in the gym? Like, what was it that when we approached you, what resonated with you, with what STOS stands for?
Well, I think the first part that got me, I'll answer truthfully. The first part that got me was the fact that you guys had the courage enough to just approach me, because I'm not really the most approachable person in the gym. And I get that. I understand that. And it's like that for a reason. I try to keep people locked out.
Right. Okay.
I do this intentionally because, you know, I have a career, I have a family, I like this bodybuilding thing, and I got to juggle all this time. And so when I saw brothers of my own demographic step to me and tell me what they were doing, I was like, wow, this is real.
Yeah.
And then you told me what it's, I was like, STOS, what's that mean? And I said, oh, I like the sound of this.
Right.
I like the sound of it because, you know, when I go into the gym, I'm not there to talk.
Right.
I'm just there to work.
Right.
And I was like, and I never connected it until y'all said it.
Right.
You know, because like I said, my head is down, the hat is down, the earbuds are in, and I'm focused because I don't have a lot of time.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I got to get done what I have to get done. Like right now, the judges from 2024 said I need to have some bigger shoulders, I need to have bigger legs. So my focus right now when I go in there, I ain't got no time to talk. I got to get these shoulders to grow. I got to get these legs to grow.
Okay.
You know? And, you know, it's great when you're young and you don't have a lot of other commitments, but when you find that your bandwidth is very limited to how you could chop up your time, you're very precious with it.
Right.
So when y'all talk to me about this, y'all ain't waste my time. And I appreciated that. And I said, wow. And you said, next time I see you, I'm gonna bring you 3 shirts so you can check, so you can see what the product's like.
Right.
I'm wearing one of these.
Right.
You know, I'm a little bigger, so it's tight. but you know, these things, I've had them now for what, like 3-4 months since you gave them to me. So they've been washed, worn, washed. Ain't no problem.
Right. Okay. Right.
So the quality was there, the philosophy was there. So I said, yeah, this is something I could like put my name behind.
Okay. So what's something that you sacrificed in your journey that most people never see?
Well, there's a lot of, it's not just my sacrifice, it's my wife's sacrifice.
Right.
My kids' sacrifice. There's a lot of time that they may not get with me, or there's a lot of time when, you know, and I hate to admit it, but sometimes I'm present, but I'm absent.
Right.
I could be here in front of you, but my brain is thinking about this thing I got going on 3 months out. And, you know, and as I get closer and closer, I could get more and more stressed. And so the sacrifice really would be, you know, the quality time with family. Like right now, I'm not preparing for no competition this year.
Right.
I'm just trying to get bigger, better. So that's almost like a vacation.
Okay.
You know, I'm still in the gym, I'm still doing my thing, but I'm not with this looming commitment of, you know, I gotta shell out all this money to go compete, and then, you know, hopefully I want to get that pro card and get the job done. You know, that'll be up to the judges. But it would be time and commitment to your family. Yeah, it's like the biggest thing.
Okay.
That really suffers sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was going to ask another question, but something you just said made me wonder. What is it? What's the investment like? Even just, I know about the time investment. What's the financial investment?
Well, if it's a local show, I try to stay local. These are typically national qualifiers. So you have your NPC card, which I believe is about $125. And then you have the show you want to enter, which will be based on classes, and each class costs money. So let's say if I do 2 classes, that's another $125 per class.
Okay.
So we're looking at $250 right there. Then I still have to get a tan put on, right? Because I don't care how black you are. You know, them lights hit you and they wash you right out. Don't matter how dark you are. So you gotta get, and you want to have a certain look that makes the promoter have his show look a certain way, because there are people from, you know, social media and bodybuilding that are taking these shots and getting this footage that's going to have it up on another site. So everybody got to have a kind of a certain look. Now, they don't make you use their tanning people. It is highly suggested you do. Yeah, you need to do that. Like, don't even try to do this yourself. They got pros that do this. Tan yourself. Don't tan yourself. You know, don't do that. You know, and that's another like $70 or $80. That's another $70 or $80. So that's just a local show.
That's just a local show.
Okay. Now, when you go to the national level, you've got flight, accommodations, whatever that's going to be. Then let's not forget, if I'm there for a few days, I got to bring food. I might have to shop or bring my food with me. 2, 3, 4,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is that per event?
That will be if I'm doing like a national show and I'm in 2 classes.
Okay.
I might do, like, let's say 1 bodybuilding class and maybe a classic physique class.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I don't think I'll get out of that for less than $3,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
The job, how accommodating is it? How accommodating are they?
I let them know that this is something that I do. It's very flexible in that way. What I'll typically do is, when it's time to actually go to another state to compete, I schedule my vacation time. I've got about 4 weeks vacation. I'll schedule my vacation time around that, so we could get there a week early or something, and I can get there and chill before I have to compete on that weekend. I let them know, hey, we're cutting calories now, and it's going to get a little rough for me, so I will be grumpy. I'll just let them know. Let them know right away. I'm going to be grumpy for probably about another 3 weeks.
Right.
And then you won't see me, and then I'll be back. And I'll be fine.
Okay, sounds good. Walk us through a moment where, you know, you could have quit, but you managed to, you know, go ahead and push through.
Oh, that's easy. 2022 National North Americans, and that's one of the videos that's pinned to my gram. Okay.
On your IG.
Yeah, yeah. It's the one where I think I'm like this,
Gotcha.
and it's real professional looking.
Okay.
That show, I was about to quit.
Really?
Oh yeah. I had enough. I was done.
Oh,
Why?
Oh.
why was that?
Well, this was the first time I had prepped with a particular coach who was very good and helped me get that look, and I can't be thankful enough. Thank you, Corey. But it's also the hardest I ever been pushed diet wise. I've never and cardio wise. I've never been in these places. I had never been in those places before.
Right.
I did not know what it felt like.
Okay.
So calories were very, very low. We're talking 4 ounces of protein, 40 grams of carbs, 1.5 ounces of something green for about a month, a little over.
That's
Yeah.
tough. That's tough.
Yeah, and in the morning I would have about an hour of cardio to do,
Right.
and that was just the first session. And then I had another hour of cardio to do after training for my second session. By the end of this, I was ready to have a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
I was like, I said, I'm gonna die.
I couldn't make it.
I don't think I could have made that.
No.
So my wife called an IFBB pro whose name is Tony Freeman. Tony is known as the X-Man. And he lives here in Georgia. And Tony's a great guy. He's a really great guy. And my wife called Tony and said, Tony, he's bugging out. And Tony got on the phone with me and he talked me off the ledge. He talked me off the ledge. Yeah. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm good now. Then we kept motoring through, but it was a new feeling. And you know, when you go into something that's uncomfortable, it's new, it's, you know, it's scary, it's hard, it's like, you know, it's like, oh, well, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to stay home, you know. Mind you, we already paid for the place, and that money's already gone. I tell you, it's like almost $3,000. I'm like, I don't care. I want to stay home. And you know, Mama wasn't having it. She was not having it.
Always need that woman support.
Yeah, she's like, win, lose, or draw, you getting on stage. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, so that was the worst one.
Okay.
So, all right. So, you know, STOS, Some Talk, Other Show.
Yes.
Before STOS, what was or what is your personal mantra?
Progress through perseverance.
I like that. Progress through perseverance. I like it.
Yeah, that would be my.
You may have to steal that. Put that on the shirt.
Yeah, put that on the shirt. Yeah.
Well, that's one of my taglines I'm using for my own company. I like started jotting stuff down, and I started thinking about what taglines I would use, and I said I like this one. I had a couple jotted down. I can't remember them all, but that's the one that stuck with me because, that one sticks with me the most because the more progress I get, the more I feel like I can persevere.
Yeah, okay, absolutely. So, what's next for you?
2026 North Americans or the NPC Universe shows. These will be these are pro qualifiers. One is in Pittsburgh. That would be the North American Championships, and the Universe is in Jersey. So that will be 20. So I get all this year to try and make this body do something awesome. You know, lift heavy or not too heavy, but heavy enough to get it to grow. And we'll see what it do when it comes time to duke it out with those guys in Pittsburgh and in Jersey. That's the plan. That's the plan.
So you said you were talking about perseverance.
Yes.
And so what would you say is your biggest takeaway from the journey you've been on? How has it shaped your character outside of the gym? Like what have you taken from all of the work that you do in the gym, and how does it shape you outside?
It's given me a strong sense of integrity. A lot of times when you're working with an online coach, right? When you work with these types of coaches, they're not there with you every day. They're taking you at your word. You could say, I ate 10 meals or whatever, whatever the plan is. You could say, I did it.
Right.
Maybe you didn't do it. But who are you cheating? You paid this guy whatever money he asked for. He gave you the plan, and now you lied to him. You're not cheating the guy. He already got his. He got paid. He got paid. You're just cheating yourself. So it holds you more accountable to what you say you're going to do.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So my integrity, and I've taken that to. Although I won't elaborate deeply, I've taken that into my own workplace. And when faced with challenges, when I can take the easy way out or use integrity, I've chosen integrity. It's been a harder road, but you know what? It's also shown me who I can be aligned with and who I can't be aligned with. Because when you carry some integrity, the fakes can't run with you.
Absolutely, I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
In wrapping up, what would you want the world to know about you, and also about being or becoming a bodybuilder?
In terms of becoming a bodybuilder, do not do it because you want to be rich. Don't do it for that.
Like you starting your own
Somebody
brand.
on your brand.
Yeah.
Don't do it to be rich.
Right.
Don't do it to be rich. You do it because it's something that you love. Okay.
Right. Absolutely.
That would be that's what I would say toward bodybuilding. In terms of me, what would I want them to know about me? I'm way more than just lifting weights and eating chicken breasts. You know, I work on cars. I keep my cars running. You know, I fix whatever the hell needs to be fixed in that house.
Right.
I'm into art. You know, I paint. You know,
Okay.
I come from the '80s with all the graffiti and stuff.
Right.
Okay.
I'm an ex-tagger.
Okay.
Now, that's something we didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, so now you understand, like, you know, and I was down with a crew and all of that. Like that's what we did back then. That's what we did. So, I still have all those multifacets in me.
Okay,
You know,
got
even when I used to pop and break and all that, but now I'm on stage and when I pose, I know to be aware of the audience and not just do stupid stuff, but do something that they can enjoy. Right. You know, so, you know, I would say just don't be one dimensional, kind of be multifaceted, you know, because I'm not just this, but there's just like y'all ain't just this, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that you're about.
Right.
Everybody's multifaceted.
Right. Absolutely.
So that's what I would say.
Okay.
I got one more,
Sure.
a bonus one. What's the best piece of advice that you've gotten from your peers in the industry?
Best one. It's been a lot. The best one I got, though, I'm going to have to go to Mr. Lee Haney. And the best advice, and I wish I had done this sooner. Mr. Haney advised me and many other athletes that have competed at his shows, and I imagine folks that he speaks to, has advised me to start up an LLC.
Absolutely.
Start up
100%.
an LLC.
Definitely agree with that.
That
100%.
is probably and I'm hooked up with his tax people. People that have been doing his taxes since,
Right.
since forever.
Right.
So they go way, way, way back.
Okay.
And that is probably the best piece of advice I got. I mean, I got a lot about, eat your protein, yeah.
Right.
It's important, but have that LLC, yeah. Be able to, if you can't monetize everything, at least, don't go fully into the red with this. Because this bodybuilding thing will take everything you want to give. It'll take all your time, it'll take all your money, and give you nothing.
Right.
So you got to decide how much you want to give.
Okay.
That's
Great advice.
that's actually a really great note to end on. That was really
absolutely.
good. We appreciate you coming out.
Definitely. Thank you for coming. Thank you
yeah.
for being a part of this.
Hell, thank you for letting us interrupt your workout.
Yeah.
I didn't even go. I hurt my knee, so I'm staying home.
you stayed home
Yeah,
today.
I stayed home. So we were doing some work around the house. So that's how I rehabilitate.
Okay.
I do stuff around the house. I do a active recovery.
Right.
Okay.
That's kind of the new thing now. Is that doctors will have you do instead of have you sit up and just stay in one position and not move or have your leg thrown. They want you to move.
Okay.
Don't aggravate it, but move. To keep the blood flowing, keep the stuff moving, so that when it is healed, you ain't got to learn to move again.
Right.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
point.
So I've practiced that, and you just moderate what you do, and don't go too far into the pain zone. Or like a 1 or 2, and then pull it back.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good. Well, everybody, we want to thank Mr. Charles for coming out, vibing with us, telling us about his story, telling us about how to be a bodybuilder, giving us some great advice. So definitely check him out. Go check him out on Instagram. Matter of fact, tell everybody where they can find you.
Oh, you guys can find me at Charles L. Christian 66 on the gram. If y'all are interested in coaching, I do a little bit of coaching there. Just slide up in my DMs and just hit me up.
All right, sounds good.
So y'all heard it from him, the man.
Yeah, man.
Okay, we want to thank the missus for coming as well.
Yes, thank you.
Can she get on camera?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh,
Come on.
come here.
Yeah,
Hurry.
we'll do a group photo too.
Yeah,
Make
definitely.
sure.
Come here, Brian.
This
Go
is
ahead
the
and
boss.
introduce- This is the boss.
This is the
man.
boss that got me here. This is the one that called Tony
she
Freeman.
cracks the whip when he doesn't want to work out.
I don't want to work. I don't want to go. She make me go.
All right. So thank y'all for vibing with us. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and we'll check you guys out on the next one. Peace.
STOS Print Apparel, brand new line. No time for excuses, put your head down and grind. Some stay stagnant, stuck in place. A lot of people run their mouth. Some tore the show.